Let me ask you, my brother, sister, if the Lord calls you home tonight and you stand before Him, I hope it won't happen, but if it does, will you have regret when you look over your life, the way you lived until today? If you're a parent, will you have regret over the way you brought up your children until today? We must always be ready. I must have no regret. This was my passion. Lord, I don't know when I live. When I was 19 and I didn't know that I would live another 67 years. But I said, Lord, I don't want any regret when I leave this earth. And I seek to live every day I don't want any regret, Lord, when I come to the end of my life. If you choose each day like that, Lord, I don't want any regret when I come to the end of my life that I wasted this day just hanging around doing nothing. I don't want to have a regret that, God, you gave me a full life and a Bible in my hand which I can read in English, but I never bothered to read it or study it. I don't want that regret. What will I do if I get up to heaven and the Lord says, I gave you only one book to read. Did you read it? What will I say to Him? Oh, well, so Lord, I looked up the news and the internet and I looked up all those things, but I didn't have time to read your word. That is the Christendom we live in today. And they ease themselves by saying, I put some money in the offering box. I tell you, God's not interested in your money at all. We are the one church who says that. God's interested in your life, something more important than your money. He said, I want your life. What would you think of a woman who tells her husband, I'm from a rich family, I'll give you money, but I can't live with you? What sort of wife will that be? We're supposed to be the bride of Christ. We're not supposed to live one day for ourselves. Will you marry a woman who tells you, allow me one day in a year to go and live with somebody else? Will you marry a woman like that? One day, 364 days, I'll live with you. This is what it means to be the bride of Jesus Christ. Not even one day do I live with somebody else, because I'm the bride of Jesus Christ. Every day I live as a married bride of Jesus Christ, seeking to please Him, living in His presence and pleasing Him. I'm emphasizing the things that we emphasize in this church, dear brothers and sisters. I thought all of you should know, and that you don't forget about it. In 1 Corinthians 10, it says, these things happened, verse 6, as an example for us. Don't let us tempt the Lord as they did. Don't grumble, verse 10. These things happen as an example and they are for our instruction. What was it? They came out of Egypt and they did not enter Canaan. That is repeated again in Hebrews chapter 3, twice in the New Testament. Hebrews in chapter 3. He says there, verse 12, take care, brothers. Is he talking to believers now or unbelievers? Verse 12. Take care, brothers, that there should not be in you an evil, unbelieving heart that falls away from the living God. You'll hardly ever hear anybody preach that in any church nowadays. That you as a believer, a brother, take care, brothers, that even one of you can come to unbelief and fall away from the living God. And you say, can we fall away from the living God? Sure. So if you don't want to fall away, it says encourage one another daily, otherwise you'll be hardened. And here's a great verse. If I've accepted Christ, is that the end of my Christianity? No. Have I become a partaker of Christ just because I once asked Him to come into my heart?